I'm confirming it through research. I got a couple more videos that I came up on, and shout out to the people that send me these videos. Shout out to the people that post these videos, like Pa Masou. I'm gonna give the link to that channel right there that posts the video that I had the pleasure to listen to, and I was able to confirm another thing that you said, that how they took the house. You feel me? And we will play that in a minute. But sis, one thing that's on the flyer for today is the culture of child molestation, if you will. You know what I'm saying? The culture of child molestation. Somebody said she needs to identify herself. She already have. She's been on the show before. You know what I mean? Low Country, we don't know who you are either. Who are you? Hit the link, Low Country, and identify yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna don't nobody hit the link. Let Low Country hit the link since she got to identify herself. Why don't you identify yourself and tell me why she got to identify herself? I mean, we already seen her. We know what she looked like. There you go, Low Country. The link is right under you. But sister Umayor,
Yeah.
when you were I'm gonna call it the community, did you consider yourself a Nuwapian, or what were you referring to yourself as, or were you just your father's child?
I was just my father's child, you know.
Okay.
Because to be honest with you, before I was there, like I said, I was, in the streets, I was in foster care, so I wasn't a part of their organization or anything like that before I got to that house.
Okay. Okay. Can you give us a little bit of before, but I'm talking about when you were on the land, when you were younger, like in your teenage years. Were you on the land then?
Yeah, I was on the land before, but even still, when I was on the land, I just felt like them people were weird. I always felt like there was something just not right with them.
So,
With
so your father created the Nuwapian, but you thought that they was weird. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I was
I
young, so
feel you,
I
sis.
didn't
I
understand
got
a
you,
lot of
sis.
the stuff. You
Right.
know, I didn't really understand a lot of what's going on. I seen a lot of women walk around bald headed. I was just like, this looked kind of strange. Then eventually, they convinced me that I had to cut my hair. It was it is what it was.
But you know
You
what's
know?
funny? You know what's funny? I look at some of the comments, right, sis? I look at some of the comments, and majority of people support you, right? But then you got those comments of like, oh nah, oh nah, because she's Dr. York's daughter, and she was with it, and she know this and they know that, but they don't even know you. They don't even know you. And I
Yeah.
will tell you this, the audience, those who listening, sis have said many a times, I'm not going to talk about my father's situation where people made allegation that there was molestation, because it's people that could have possibly experienced these things, and she didn't want to scratch the wound of it without sufficient information or knowledge of the totality of the whole situation. And I think that's an honorable thing. But I was looking in the comment section, people like, she knew this, she knew that. Most children don't know all of the intricate workings that goes inside these societies, but they get if you will, they feel the remnants of it, the effects of it. You know what I'm saying?
You
So
can still.
when you were on the land,
Hmm.
did you sense that there was a child, and I call it a child molestation culture on the land? What I
No,
mean
I
by
didn't.
child molestation culture is like, I did a video last night where in Lebanon it's okay to marry a 12-year-old. Like, was it a culture? Was it secret? Was it normalized? How could you explain it from the eyes of, I guess, when you were a teenager?
Well, I was in the girls' house for a little bit, but they quickly moved me out of the girls' house, and I moved, and they ended up having to put me in a house that was like considered 100, which was my father's house, and it was separated with certain children. So, I guess me being in the girls' house, I would see those girls running around, doing a lot of promiscuous things, and I thought that was strange. They were doing it amongst themselves, may I add. Um, and then on top of that, I had this one little sister that used to always sleep in a bed with me. And I always, when I got older, I started to think that something might have happened to her because she'd always peed in the bed, but it took for me to become older to start to realize that certain things just wasn't right. Now, in regards to, other things happening, yeah, my brothers would say stuff like, yeah, this one's touching me, and they liked it and stuff like that, but it was like women touching on these little boys and stuff like that. And I guess I didn't look at it as a thing because I was like, well, at least he's not gay, I don't know. I didn't know how to look at things back then. You know what I'm saying? I could honestly say I didn't know. um yeah, there were things where I do remember, like, a young girl, her mother used to always buy her cranberry juice. And I always questioned why she bought her cranberry juice. I never understood why it wasn't for everybody. It was just specifically for her. And, as I got older, I realized, cranberry juice was something, people drink when they had urinary tract infections or something like that. So I don't know, as a child that age, why she would have one, So there was a lot of weird stuff happening on that land. When it came down to other people that I've seen myself. Well, let me not say seen, but just witness certain weird things. It was just like weird stuff happening there. I would sit inside the playground all the time late at night, just sitting in the playground, just watching, seeing what's going on. You'll see like these different mates sneaking around, and you'll see them sneaking around, messing around, fooling around, even in the playgrounds and up the hill. The kids, when there was Savior's Week, the kids would go up the hill and do all kinds of weird stuff with strangers and stuff like that. So but it's like the organization, all of them all knew each other, so I assumed it was like normal. I didn't know any better, you know what I'm saying? So I assumed this stuff was like normal to them, that they'll meet up to have like the little parties up the hill and stuff like that, and the children from the land will come up the hill with the people that are coming on the land. So I assumed that was normal. I'm sure a lot of people still remember that stuff. um yeah.
Wow. Did you ever meet anybody that was actually, did anybody, I mean, throughout the years, have you ever heard, because because this all stems from Brother Polite. If Polite wouldn't have got locked up for allegedly raping a 14-year-old, then this story would probably still been buried, and people would still be talking about Dr. York did this, Dr. York did that. But one of the stories that we never heard is the story of what you're telling, that, okay, you got the conversation about your father, Dr. York. Okay, we get it.
Hmm.
But that this is kind of like a culture of sexual deviant for adults, and it's passing down to the children.
That's a fact.
Were that talks of people like trying to cover up for other people? I mean, was anybody ever disciplined? Will ever say, we shouldn't be doing this? Anything like that?
Nobody was ever disciplined. This is her husband chiming in. Nobody was ever disciplined in that community. You had situations where they would do just the opposite. It would be a complete cover up. There was no sense of accountability. That's why I left over 10 years ago.
Wow. So even the adult, even if a child would complain that somebody touched them the wrong way.
Yeah, there would be an orchestrated attempt to cover it up. I
That's a fact.
take my daughter for instance.
By the way, one moment, because everybody say, who is this? By the way, this is Uma York husband. He'll be on the show at a later date to go into the details of his experience, but I think he was just about to touch on it just a little bit right now. So, brother, the floor is yours.
Yeah, what I was about to say was, they and this is something that's not just for this community, but I think in the Black community in general, we have this habit of covering up things that you know that I don't necessarily think we need to necessarily go to the dominant society, quote unquote,
Oh
but
no, not me.
we do need to address it, and there is no accountability. So yes, there was a culture of cover up
That was my
in
problem.
that organization.
I was going straight to
That's
everybody.
just what it was. For example, um, Damian Pryor, who was Basil Muhammad, or known as Duswa York. There was a complete cover up of my situation with my daughter with him. In fact, her mother, along with Dr. York's sister, what was her name, Dale Brown or Waki, they covered up this whole situation.
Wow. And I mean, and who exactly are they? I mean, are they still around today?
I don't know. I left that community, so
I'm
So
talking about,
and he
not in the community. I'm just talking about, are they relevant? Because nowadays we got social media. You know what I'm
no, they're
saying?
not relevant on social media to
Oh,
my
I got you.
knowledge.
That's what I was
You
asking.
know, not that I'm on social media. I work all the time.
you talking about my aunt.
Yes, I'm talking about
Waki.
y'all.
Waki is right now the head face of that organization. She's like the one that does the Eastern Star stuff and all of that
Well,
stuff.
I don't
She
keep
be
up
all
with.
over the place. I'm just telling you what I've seen because these people be stalking me on Facebook and I be seeing, so I be clicking on some of these people pictures and I be like, oh God, these weirdos. So I know what I be seeing. And yeah, she be right there with all them people. In regards to your baby mother, I don't know about her. I don't see her anywhere. You talking about your daughter's mother?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
okay.
don't see her anywhere. But that dude Damian Pryor, or should I say Basil Muhammad or Dushwa York, because these
Douchebag.
people change. Yeah, I call him douchebag, but they change their names over and over again. That man is known to be a child molester and pedophile, and people have swept it under the rug consistently, not just with your daughter's case, but also with other people's case as
All
well.
right, let me
Like somebody text me something.
let's go into a little bit of detail with it. I mean, I might as well get it out the way. Um, so basically, you know, my daughter and another child exposed him, and it was, it became this thing. It blew up in the community. But instead of making him accountable, it was this rush to cover it all up. I was personally asked, you know, uh, to leave it alone and cover it up, and I refused. I went to the authorities. And when obviously as a father, when you hear something about something happened to your daughter, for your first instinct is to do something that any father would do, which is go looking for him. you know and when he was hidden, and come to find out, years later, that he was actually hiding out with Doc's sister, who was Waki, for 3 or 4 weeks.
Well, she calls herself Wakia now. I don't know what the hell.
Yeah, whatever she's called. Yeah, he. And then the message was relayed, because at the time I was 10 toes down in the organization. I was very loyal to its founder, and he asked me to put it to rest until his situation was you know he was awarded his freedom. This was years and years and years ago.
Right.
Um, Needless to say, it got to a point with me that it just made me look at the whole organization in general. It made me notice the fact that there is no accountability, and there's always a double standard.
Wow.
Um, and this is a person under the guise of supposed to be helping his case, quote unquote, at the time. Now, this person, Basil, pops up after York is indicted and goes to jail, and comes in under the the premise of he has groundbreaking information that's going to blow the case wide open. He was there. He was witness to the conspiracy. Him and other people as well.
He was the same
Um,
person taking recantments.
Right, right. Taking recantments, gonna help Dr. York get out of
He
jail.
was
And
supposed to help me go to the court case, but they made sure I wasn't there.
yeah, yeah. So he comes under this. But he's the same guy that was with Jacob York, doing the exact same thing, of what Dr. York was accused of. So this stuff is kind of known.
Right.
So
Mm.
he 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 does what he does with my daughter. Um, my child's mother, for whatever reason, did not go to the authorities. I went to the authorities about it. Because when I couldn't find him initially, and they were everybody was trying to tell me, don't take any legal action, don't take it to the doctor, don't get her checked out, don't do this. I'm like, why would I not do that? Obviously I went and I filed a police report. I was told that initially that they would look into it. Everything seemed to be going fine, but as the months went on, I started noticing weird things, even with the police. They even admitted to me that um, that he can not be quote unquote touched right now because another agency, a higher up agency, is using him. So that told me that,
Oh,
yeah, maybe he's in some sort of informant. That's I kind of read it in between the lines, but they refuse to touch the case. Now, if they're all about protecting kids, um, you know, you would think they would have arrested the man. He had other warrants, so yeah, it's a real crazy situation.
so
But
he's
uh,
he's still out and about with
yeah,
Yeah,
the ability to
right
do the
now.
same exact thing.
Yep.
yes,
And
of
probably
course,
doing it somewhere.
yeah.
Um,
He went to jail for manslaughter. He
he
had
was doing
yeah,
scams.
he had a scam. He was,
hmm
scamming constantly.
People could actually Google him right now under the name
Yeah,
Damian Pryor. They could Google him under Basil Muhammad, and they'll find so many different aliases under this guy's name.
yeah, he was
Literally.
in jail for fraud and got out. So
Yeah.
yeah, obviously he's some sort of government informant.
Wow, this is crazy. And so he actually molesting people, and still running around.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that's what tells me that this government doesn't really give a darn
And
about our community, and they don't care about York. They were trying to stop what he was doing, whether he's guilty, not guilty, whatever. If it's all about making anybody accountable, then this guy obviously should have been locked up too, and so should the rest of these people. And people, what's weird about this whole thing is, the folks that did come forward and indicted York, they got nothing out of the situation. They just out here lost and still,
So
quote
so
unquote suffer.
so a lot of people that was a part of getting Dr. York locked up, wasn't some of them also in the community being affected by the same thing, even outside of what some of them accused Dr. York of? And they still out here with this? Are they still in the community? Some of them, when you left, by the time you left,
you mean the people that accused him?
yeah,
Yeah, some of them, some of the people that accused him,
this is
including the young girls, they're with my brother. One of them probably laid up with my brother right now. You get
what?
what I'm saying? These people, yes. So, and I've asked this question over and over again. If you've been molested by my father, why would you be sleeping with my brother? That don't make any sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, wouldn't that trigger some kind of trauma or something like that? I don't know. I've just always questioned certain things, but then I started to realize that my family was the one covering up a lot of this stuff themselves, you know. Um somebody sent this message to me, and I did, just to show you how far back, people know. This was a text message that was sent, actually it wasn't even sent to me. It was sent to a brother named Cowie, who sent it to me. um And peace to Brother Cowie. As a matter of fact, he was somebody that actually came to check up on me after the whole shooting situation and stayed there with me to make sure that nothing happened to me again. Somebody sent this to him January 31st, 2011, and it was sent from some brother named Alvarez. And it said, tell the lady whose daughter was molested by the Nuwabians was Edith Shaw. They said Deborah knows all about it. Also, it was Nifu, oh, oops, my bad, Nifu's daughter, who was molested by Basil, who we speaking about right now. This Damian Pryor dude. They also call him Basil. They said, ask Deborah. She knows all about it. I don't know who this Deborah lady is, but this was the message that I've gotten years ago. I just decided to look through all of my old messages and stuff like that. I was looking at, I was doing a lot of research on this whole case, not just the fraud stuff. I was researching all kinds of stuff, like what is going on. I wanted to dissect this whole thing because, I didn't know of, I didn't know of my father to be this monster that they were painting him out to be. So I wanted to do my own research, So, when I started getting these little things, I was like, wow, this is a little deeper than what people are speaking about. Yeah, this is and not only that, this guy's been beating on women, for years, and these women are scared to talk about it. They're scared to talk about it. This guy's the same guy that bred Nature Boy. Now Nature Boy's out here beating up on women. So it's the same.
So even Nature Boy is connected to this type of community.
Yeah, Nature Boy, when Nature Boy spoke about how he knew Basil personally, and he was amused by his barbershop that he had that had this whole Egyptian theme and stuff like that. And this was a person. It was a live conversation on Bigo between me and Nature Boy and a couple of other people on the panel. So a lot of other people heard the conversation.
And you tell me that ain't crazy.
Mm-hmm. And I put the connection together. I was like, wait a minute, because somebody said a story and they were like, yeah, he went around the girl, he circled that Nature Boy had the brothers circle the girl while he beat the girl to death. Not beat the girl to death, but he beat the girl up. And then I was like, wow, I heard that same story about 10, 15 years ago with this same brother, Basil, that he was in a barbershop and he had the Nuwabian brothers round up around to stop this girl from running. They kept her in the circle while this guy beat her up. So these people, they all are very aware of what they're doing. They just been covering stuff up left and right and that's their whole purpose, is to keep covering it up while these people continue to do mischief throughout the community. And people look at the conscious community, like what is going, why is it the way it is? And it's like, you got main people that are being idolized and worshiped that are monsters. You get what I'm saying? And that doesn't take away from anybody else. I'm just saying everybody that have their involvement in knowing this, if you know about a child being abused or anything like that, you're a monster. If you're not saying anything about it, you're a monster.
Sis, why is it to me, and I don't know how to say this, why is it to me that you are coming off as so normal after all that you've been through, but so many people are acting as if something is wrong with you?
Yeah, that's what they do to people.
I've got, that girl, she needs counseling. I've heard that. That girl, they need to deal with that with the family. She shouldn't be talking on your show. That girl,
and I've been hearing that my whole life. My own family tried to shut me up. After I did the interview with you, I had calls from family telling me, don't say nothing. Don't say my name. Don't say this. Don't say that. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just say this. Because I have no attachments to these people at this point. When you start to realize that these people are monsters, why am I going to hold on to it? You know, when they have family reunions, when I did come around, I didn't even bring my kids around. So why would I trust it? Why do I try? That shows you I didn't even trust these people even then. So what, all of a sudden I'm supposed to just keep burying this stuff up for what? These people are weird, including my siblings, you know what I'm saying? That want to, or shall I say relatives that want to hide this stuff. They're just as weird.
Right. Yeah.
And it could be, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just was going to say that I got a couple emails of people saying these things, and I'm saying to myself, like, I don't understand for the life of me how somebody would want to silence you if they also been through this same type of trauma, or they have witnessed this type of trauma. Because according to a lot of people, this ain't no secret.
It's not, you know. And what triggered it to me, you know, I've been normally living my life, la la la, you know. I do what I do, you know. I'm a designer. I just, you know, I do fashion shows. This is what I do. I do things that keep me sane, that keep me, you know, not thinking about this my past traumas and stuff like that. I don't stay around these Nubians. I don't come to their events. And if I do, it's like my brother asked me to come, or somebody asked me to come, and it was like, oh God, you know. Other than that, yeah, I don't really deal with these people. So that's probably what kept me more sane than anything, trying to adapt to the society, you know, heck, having white friends, you know, just basic stuff like that, you know, just trying to adapt. um and that pretty much what has helped me to try to stay sane. You know, what triggered it also recently, minus Polite getting locked up, was the fact that one of my brothers came to me and told me that he was molested at 7 years old, you know. And I was adding his age up. I was like, wait, ain't you 20 years old right now? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, well, you know, Pops, you know, I don't know. This isn't adding up. So you're going to tell me that you've been molested literally about 14, 15 years ago. And when I spoke to other people about it, when I asked other people, like, hey, do you know anything about this? People were like, oh, yeah, man, that's old. I'm like, how can you just say something like that? Like, are you serious? Like, so you telling me people know about this? And they're like, yeah, a lot of people know about this. Y'all just swept it under the rug? Are you serious? That's disturbing to me. I have a 7-year-old daughter. That's disturbing to me. If somebody was to try to touch my daughter, I freak out if her school even say, hey, we had to change her hoodie. I'd be like, why? You know what I mean? Like, I'm that overly protective parent just because of my personal experiences. You know what I'm saying? So I that's why I'm the way I am, you know? And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that every parent should be that way. Every parent should want to be overprotective of their child, should protect their children's innocence. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think there's anything wrong with me. And then, you know, another thing I realized is that for years in my life, you know, I used to smoke and I used to drink. You know what I'm saying? And that was another thing that I used to call myself saying, my way to suppress myself. But I stopped. And it's funny because I stopped drinking and I stopped smoking. And that's what made me more. I had to realize all the pain I was hiding inside of me. I had to realize, I was like, oh my God, like, I'm hiding all of this inside of me. Like, you know, yeah. And I replaced it with working out. And honestly, it's been keeping me up, and it's been keeping me, you know, more strong-headed. And now I feel like, yeah, I need to release this stuff out from inside of me. You know what I'm saying? This stuff needs to be told. You know, I don't want to live my life and know that this man is a pedophile and he's traveling across the country, you know what I'm saying? And didn't say nothing. You know what I mean? Like, are you serious? I don't know how people could live like that. Yeah, it's just how I feel. Oh, I can't hear you.
I said this making it real easy for me because I'm just listening to the story and I'm just painting the picture in my mind of all of these children that has been affected and all the ones that may be still being affected because this community is still around. I know some good Nubian brothers that I respect highly, where they just relocated to Liberia a few years ago. And I don't see them like that. And I know a few that reached out.
That wasn't the whole community, bro.
No, that wasn't the whole community, but I say a few. I said a few. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like every community has, some.
Yeah. That's why I say I know a few, and this brother, that group seemed pretty solid. But is that my question would be? Is that a small minority?
What, of the community?
Of the community. No, is that a small? Like I met these brothers. I met them in Atlanta. They were telling me I met them maybe 4 years ago at the Malcolm X festival, and they was talking about they had a stand there, and they was talking about they had a bookstore. And they was talking about they was planning to move into Liberia, and and I kept in touch with them. Even in Liberia, I kept in touch with them for quite some time. And they just seemed pretty solid. Just seemed to trying to develop themselves, trying to develop the positive side of community, nationhood, and all of that. And so I'm like,
I mean, there was a lot of positive things going on in that community. It wasn't all negative,
Yeah. So no, what I'm saying is that a minority? Or was there? Because it's like it can be a lot of positivity, but when the lights go out, everything can go crazy.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't directly exposed to a lot of that. Obviously, I did something or said something or I think the average brother wouldn't tolerate that, but obviously there's a subgroup in there that's what they do.
Were you able to catch
subgroup? You mean the headquarters? You mean the main people? Those are the people that's hiding the stuff. The people sitting there in Bushwick. Some of them have sat inside of girls' houses, and girls have been molested, and they know this. You know what I'm saying? You talking about stuff that there's people that watch this stuff. I remember there was this one lady that used to beat her daughter, and I never understood why she would beat her daughter. Like, you don't even watch your daughter. Why are you even beating her? You know what I'm saying? So there was a lot of weird stuff happening. And you know what? It's not the whole organization that's bad, but there's definitely a lot of people in the administration that was the main people. You know what I'm saying? So it made the other people that were newcomers and all of that, like me personally, anybody that would come on, I would be like, oh boy, another weirdo. Because, I seen it from a perspective of all of the people in the main people, the headquarters, those people, I seen them as being corrupt. So I seen it as anybody that wanted to join something as being corrupt is somebody that's just going to end up corrupt. And just the same situation as when Polite attempted to murder me, and those people were out there protesting and riling up for this man. It's the same cult-like mentality. You know what I'm saying? You can't get ahead that way when people just don't want to seek right knowledge, or don't want to get the facts of everything. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get anywhere.
That part is very true. On the one hand, they teach and preach, facts, but once somebody's name is mud, they're ostracized, and it is a thing where they turn a deaf ear, and there is no accountability. That I see that flat out. There's no such thing as accountability in that community at all.
It says, somebody asked in the chat, how old were you when your father was they didn't ask this, I'm asking this. How old was you when your father was actually incarcerated?
19.
You were 19-year-old. Was your father aware of any of the allegations that that the community has been so-called plagued with this molestation stuff?
Do he know about the other people?
At that age, was your father aware of all of the things that we now come to know to a degree?
At the age of 19, my father was telling me stuff like, go check your grandma, see how your grandma is doing. We didn't talk about, me and my father didn't have discussions about the organization.
Gotcha.
I was more, I was always like, I felt weird about that organization, period, because, I had a brother that was supposed to take over the organization, and he was assassinated, so I always I was always that child that was just like, yeah, I'm good. It just didn't sit well with me. That's just And it's not the organization, it's the people. It's
That's what I was about. That's what I was about to get into. Do you feel as though that your father created the organization and then it took on a life of its own?
Yep, definitely. Definitely. Those people were doing stuff on their own. They definitely were doing stuff on their own. My father would say stuff like about somebody, like he'll probably just mention something, and then the brothers would go out there and just find that person and beat up on that person and these people were doing their own thing. And they were doing it thinking that they were trying to please him, and he was just not impressed. You know what I'm saying? He was, like I said, he was trying to get the hell away from those people, you know. And that was the last thing I remember when he was on the land. He would talk about how when I was on the land and he was on the land, this when he was not incarcerated, he would talk about how he was trying to get away from these people. That's why he bought the house in Athens, so that he could have a peace of mind. You get what I'm saying? And the land was literally in the organization's name.
Hmm.
You know, that land was in the organization's name. It wasn't in his name. It was in other people's name, who I found really interesting, were the same people that turned around and were trying to prosecute him for other things. You know, and mind you, that, like, you know, when I did the research on that land, for Shady Dell Road, when I did the research on that property, you know, a lot of people say, oh, the feds took it. But anybody who got any common sense know they took it for investigation. And then after they take it for investigation, they give it right back. So what happened was everybody ended up right back. Everybody was still on that land and everything. People in that organization sold that property. They sold that property. That's a fact. You know, I've even had a confession from a brother, you know what I'm saying, one of the brothers that was a part of it. You know, he confessed to me and said that, you know, people were committing fraud. You know, he mentioned it to me, you know, in a whole Facebook text. This man said it. So, you know, and I
Hmm.
just can't believe these people, you know, like, I just can't believe that they would do something like this. That just shows you how selfish they were. They weren't thinking for the good of our people. They were thinking for the good of themselves, all of them. You know what I'm saying? Each and every one of them that had their hands in it. And
And let's talk about for a second before we get back into we go that you mentioned Sakina many times. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Now Sakina, what in relation to your father, who was Sakina?
she was technically the woman that was running the Mount Vernon store, and she was the person that used to transport some of his kids when they were upstate in certain locations. She would drive from New York to Georgia and back and forth every 2 weeks. You know, oh, I don't. There's like salt and pepper on the screen. I don't know what that is.
Oh, my bad, my bad. Hold on. Hold
No,
on.
I'm sorry. Maybe I shouldn't even be paying attention to it. It just look weird.
My bad. My bad. My bad. Salt, pepper, gold teeth. My bad.
I was like, what in the world is
My
that?
bad. I was messing with the controls and stuff. My bad. But so I got this video. I got this video that I discovered. And man, shout out to those who are concerned. You know what I'm saying? But let me play it real quick because it mentions Sakina.
The scam artist.
But and I wanted to mention too, for all the people that tries to come at Dr. York, because I'm not a Dr. York fan nor a Dr. York supporter, nor am I against Dr. York, because I don't know the story to give a position. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know. All I know is that he have 100 different variations of a certain truth. You know what I'm saying? But I don't have a position because I don't know. All I hear what people say. But every single time I hear him speak, considering what he's up against, he seems of sound mind and he's right and exact in a lot of what he says. And this was like cryptic, this was like 2014. And he's mentioning you. And the moment that I heard it, I sent it straight to you. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
a
I'm going to
fact.
play it real quick. Listen to this.
I was just talking about on the information of where we are at this point.
Okay.
they exposed a lot of things. What she did is she moved one of my daughters, Kathum, which is Radia's daughter.
Yes, I know.
Uma, that's you, Uma?
Nope, that's another sister.
Another
There's
sister?
2 of us. Mm-hmm.
She moved one of my daughters, Kathum, which is Radia's daughter.
Yes, I know her. Mm-hmm.
While she moved the other ones out, but she only moved these people in because all of them are gay. That was her gay connection.
Right.
They were what? What did he say?
He said they were gay.
They were
was their
gay.
gay connections. Mm-hmm.
So Sakina also had a gay constituent in the community also.
Yeah, she actually had a
I
girlfriend.
mean, but what I'm saying is, I don't, you know what I mean? I don't want anybody that's watching that live that lifestyle think that I have something against it.
Yeah, we have nothing against homosexuals, but
Yeah, just do what you do. I'm gonna do what I do, and that's.
Did Maze come up too, Uda? Or just me? I didn't scare you away, did I, DJ Maze? I'm just a little excited. I mean, yeah, I talked to Chuck, but you was actually in the community before the first name change, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on. Hello, I'm over on one community right now.
Who got the stream? Who got the stream?
I was talking about this long before it got popping again because of Eugene. Do I have on my good avatar? Yes, I do.
Yeah, I feel like he back off of you.
Well, it ain't gonna work because God don't like ugly. Uda, drop a wrench on drop the hammer.
What happened to the stream?
Uda stopped it because we talking to Maze.
Uh,
He's still alive over there. He won't be for long though. This is exploitation. Exploitation. They have. Oh my! I cannot. You do not understand.
Yeah, he don't really give a fuck about the victim. Yeah, he don't even look like he gives a fuck about what's going on.
He was laughing a minute ago. Can you jump up, please? Please. Please. And at least we can set something up for later. Because I can say 5-10 minutes all I want to. But I know questions go lead to questions, go lead to questions. And tomorrow my day off, so I can sleep in. I don't know about you. If you want to do it tomorrow, we can do it then too. I'm very accommodating. And the treehouse is very nice. You know, we have comforters and shit, and snuggies and couches and stuff.
That's what it is. But
I'm trying to
it
remember her
kind
name.
of hard.
I
It
think
sounds kind of odd considering the foundation of the community. And so go on, since she had a gay sister
yeah.
or something.
Her name, I believe her name was Jelani, the girlfriend that she had. Sakina had a car accident and the girl died in a car accident. As a matter of fact, 8 people died, and Sakina was the only one that lived out of that.
What is you doing?
I'm saying that's basically how that situation happened. And that's why I realized my father used to always say, go check up on your grandmother. And I told my family that I feel like that lady's trying to kill our grandmother, you
Hmm.
know. And then I did some research on that, and the lady had life insurance on my grandmother.
What?
Yes.
Oh my
The
gosh,
lady
she had
under
life
Patricia
insurance.
Lewis, she had met life insurance under my grandmother. Yes.
Let me stop for a minute and say, everybody, thumbs up. Y'all got to know that this is
That's
something
crazy.
that has not hit the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like this. You know what I'm saying? Even to hear it out of Dr. York's mouth, although it was in the public, don't nobody highlight this type side. Everybody want to highlight the things that Malachi York was accused of, but nobody highlight the side where
Accused.
you can hear him, which and this stuff is out
Accused.
there.
Hmm.
Nobody highlight the side where he's saying, I know what's going on. This is what's going on.
Wow.
And
Yeah, in that video, he speak about.
it
Um,
blows me away. It blows me away, sis, that everybody really study one side of the story, which again, I don't support nor do I condemn because I don't know enough about the story. However,
mhm.
I've heard
Oh,
one
shit.
side of the story, and as I look at the other side of the story, I'm like, this is a fascinating story as it relates to you can hear your father talk about he's aware of what's going on. But go ahead, sis.
Yeah, I mean, he spoke about and when I listened to that video when that you sent me, he spoke about, my sister Leah doing the research. No, my sister Leah wasn't doing the research. She was one of the people just had her money all over trying to get some money out of it as well. I was the one doing all the research on everything, which is why I pretty much know all of the stuff that I could pretty much break down and include in, I've held on to documents for it. I've given my family documents of the stuff that I've done research on, and they still ignored it, even with the facts right in front of their face. That's how I knew something was weird and something was going on, something was just strange with that family.
Sis, this is a little bit off. I'm gonna finish playing this in a second, but I gotta ask you. Um, After all the research that you did, um,
Hmm.
and even your husband, he can chime in too. What do you think ultimately the reason for, if he was your father, targeted? Ultimately, and I'm not just talking about, oh, he's a black man that unimized. What did you, in your research, did you see anything that would say, there it is?
you know um in my research, what I said was, wow, what a coincidence that, this person was the notary on this fraud. This person was the quote unquote power of attorney on this fraud. And it's just like a puzzle piece with all of the people that, supposedly, had all of these charges, that their parents were committing a lot of fraud. My father owned all 30 buildings, so these people were literally stealing stuff. They were stealing. People were literally just stealing. It was all a money thing, a money game to them. All they wanted was some money. That's it. And like Sakina said to me, you know I spent 12 years of my life and I'm not walking away with nothing. She said that to me. That was after the shooting happened
Mm.
with Polite, when I addressed her about it.
Man. How about you? Your husband still there?
I'm right here.
Yeah. What do you think? The ultimate, if he was.
Oh, okay. Dr. Mays.
Say what?
Dr.
Champion.
Mays. Dr. Mays
Remy,
says she lived with Tavis.
Remy,
I don't know what's up with Randy.
they really fall asleep.
Y'all, I'm here. Y'all, I'm here.
You need to get ready to crank up.
All right.
Hey, Maze, what was your name back
I
then?
did start to doze
Yeah.
off.
What year was that?
Yeah, man. So what? See, oh, we still on live with the other thing, right? See?
Yeah, we can go on ahead and go. He's still recording, so when that's over, he'll probably jump in. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not watching. I can't. I'm sitting up here literally. I got tears in my eyes. I'm so fucking mad right now. Why would you sit up and do something like that, you sick bastard? Why? You all? You well?
Let's just build the
Lord, I'm sitting up here.
Yeah, I
That's
Say
got
what
what?
they
people in
do.
Baltimore. I know 2 people in Baltimore right now.
Okay. So I'm fin to switch up my title
You
a
don't
little
care
bit.
about spreading awareness.
I'm finna fix my title a little bit, and then we gonna go with it.
Yeah, man. This is crazy, man.
I'm
Got
gonna
the
stay
law.
over here, but
A lot of this thinking, man, polite. We got R. Kelly just got time just now. I mean, sentenced basically. You know what I'm saying? He just got charged, I should say,
yeah,
not sentenced.
this is like some of the
Um,
sickest shit.
it's a lot going on. Brian
And
Pumper in
how
the
could you
building.
do that?
Even Brian Pumper in the building right now for some sexual deviancy right now. You think he in the porn world, he could get some women. He is a deviant too. Look at this, man. You don't know what this thing looks like. You don't know what a predator looks like, man. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I can say about all of these situations is bringing in a lot of awareness, and people are being more vocal about pedophilia, about molestations, about many of the things that plague and are ills in our communities. You know what I'm saying? So to everybody that's lifting their voices, I commend y'all all on lifting our voices because sometimes that's the hardest thing to do. And sometimes you don't know how you can go about getting help when you're in situations. But lifting your voice sometimes is your greatest weapon for you to just speak up. Sometimes it brings you all the aid and all the help you need. If you have been victimized in any situation, seek help in further streams and future streams. Anytime I'm covering, because I'm covering topics like this, but every day I get smarter. Every day I get smarter. And I'm going to be leaving different informations, contact numbers, and everything that you need. Because me just covering these stories every day is I'm developing another form of PTSD just by covering these stories every day. And I'm just trying to study even mental health so that I can deal with people every day on the internet. If you have a YouTube page, I advise you to study some kind of form of mental health because we are dealing with people every day. We need to be understanding mental health because we are all borderline damn near therapists right here. When you have a YouTube channel, many people are coming to talk to us and we all have situations. So keep speaking up, keep lifting your voice against these situations. I commend everybody once again to all the victims. You know what I mean? Our hearts go out with you. To all the victims, our heart goes out to you. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what it's really about. It's about getting y'all help. And y'all got to know that y'all got help out here. You feel me? And that's what it's really about. So, yeah, man. That's what it's about. Salute to y'all.
Yeah, it's coming at faster rates.
Mm-hmm.
How long would this have taken to come out if it was back in the days of like Bobby Womack?
Oh no, that shit is tough. What the polite? I mean the R. Kelly shit.
Years.
All of it.
On that shit. Nah, man. Look how long it took to get R. Kelly. What are you talking about?
Yeah, just that
R.
alone.
Kelly,
Yeah.
ever since Aaliyah, he was supposed to be in the building
It
doing
took
some
years.
time, bro.
Mhm.
That's a whole.
Period.
That's a generation right there.
Son, for Aaliyah, he was supposed to go do
And
time.
he probably
Period.
had
I don't care
victims
about
before
nothing
Aaliyah.
else. Aaliyah alone, the state's supposed to jump in and grabbed him for that wild shit. Because that was crazy. So you didn't have to see nothing else besides Aaliyah. So they let him get away too much already, son. Even if his ass got
I'm
locked up and
pretty
did some
sure he
time.
had victims before her.
Come on, man. Aaliyah alone, man. What you mean? They were talking about this nigga like Candyman, son. You never heard seen him back in the days, little footages of R. Kelly. They talking about R. Kelly. They talking about like when he come around and they he used to come around to high school and all type of shit, around the schools and all type of shit. Like he come around in his car, red car, and all kind of shit. Nah,
We
son.
need some positive energy, family.
People was creeped
Praise
out.
the
Kids was too
ammunition.
scared, son. Not all kids was like, oh, that's R. Kelly wanted to have sex with him. No, some kids were scared,
They
like, yo,
said
this
he
nigga
was
was a
blocked in
creep.
the high school.
Like, this nigga was like, I'm Candyman or some fucking creep nigga. Like, you ain't want to see this nigga around the school. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Them kind of stories. And some of these people was telling the story not trying to get no money. They just wanted to talk about that story. So you can't say everybody's looking for a bag. Some people spoke out against them, or certain people, and they don't want a bag. They just want to bring awareness to the situation. And many of them people's cries and all these sorrows and everything went unheard. It took a docu series, a damn near 6, 7 part docu series, to make this happen. So it ain't just about back in the days in the new times. The docu series is what did that to him. Just like Bill Cosby was gone the whole time, nothing was happening until what's the comedian name? I forget his name right now. Rel or whatever his name is, the comedian. Till he did that comedy stand on Cosby and called Cosby and shit too. That's what blew that up and then led to his charges, man. That's how that went, bro. It wasn't like they was been waiting to file charges on Bill Cosby. No, it was the comedian. What's his name, Rel? Or something like that. The dark skinned comedian, man. Short guy with the glasses, man. He did a
Oh
comedy
Lil
stand up
Rel.
and was coming in on Bill Cosby. And that's how he blew up. You see how it happens? That's how this shit happens, bro. After that, he blew up. He got TV. He got mad shit. You don't see how this shit works, huh? But yeah, after he did that shit and pushed it, bang, it was a joke. It started out as a joke. That's why people was asking him, like, yo, how do you feel that? How do you feel they had solely got Bill Cosby locked up by yourself? People was asking him that. Like, how do you feel? Like, mad people don't know that that's how where that came from. But that's where that came from. It didn't come from this no story. It just came from that. Just like this one came from the docu series, and it started such of a stir online that niggas they had no choice but to say, nah, we got to bring this nigga in. We wildin', son. Son, people was looking bad. Government officials, everybody looking bad on all facets, bro. Like, come on, dog. What are you doing?
So, so you haven't heard the word racketeer from mainstream news since John Gotti.
Yeah, racketeering. Actually, yeah, yeah, racketeering
Another generation ago.
on mainstream news as far as a big figure goes like
Everybody
that.
know it.
No, as
Even
far
if
as a
you
big
don't
figure
even
go,
listen
no.
to music at all,
As
you
far as a
know
big
about this
figure,
case just because of that one word, racketeer. And they
oh,
changed it. You saying they fixed it up to nail this motherfucker no matter what he came back with? No
yeah,
matter
man,
who he had, Goldberg or whatever the fuck, the
yeah,
top
man,
lawyers.
yeah.
Damn.
When they want you, man. You know how it go. When they want you, bro. There's nothing you can do about that one. When you got the, the teeth slinking in on you, that's it. And that's it. But you know what I mean? At the end of the day, we could most definitely. The man is sick, bro. I know he black, and we want to cape and salute and stand up for black people. I do too, son. I'm dead ass on that type of
Nah,
vibe.
we didn't fuck with
But
I'm
motherfuckers
with you
like
when
sometimes
that.
you're
we
right,
can't
and
do
when you're
that.
No,
wrong, I'm
nah.
wrong.
Sometimes we
Hump
can't
that.
do that.
We
Sometimes we
don't.
can't do that when we dealing with certain type of people. Listen, the nigga name was the Pied Piper, bro. Do you know the story of the Pied Piper, bro?
No, wasn't nobody talking about no Pied Piper as no fucking hero
I'm talking about the
in the
story.
hood.
Piper's
Yeah,
not a
yeah, yeah. We know
story,
about the
bro.
story, but
Devastating. No, he was over on my channel earlier when we was breaking it down.
He was bringing up the children. I could read you a
R.
story right
Kelly
now
was
with the
calling
Pied Piper
himself the
is.
Pied
He
Piper.
took the rats. The adults didn't want to pay, so he took the children.
He took
Only
the
3
children.
survived. One was blind and didn't know where to go. One was deaf and didn't hear the music, and one was lame. And nobody ever saw the children of Hamlin again.
And
Now,
that
there
is
are a
what
couple of things. This is a real thing. This isn't just a fairy tale. There is an
right.
actual
Yeah,
missing children's case of Hamlin.
yeah.
And they never know for sure. They never figured out for sure what happened to the kids.
and
Wow.
that is the name or moniker that he chooses or
Look,
chose to go
after
by.
he got off on that first trial, that next album he did, the first thing he said on that joint was, "It's the Pied Piper R&B." If you
Yeah,
didn't already know, you should have caught a clue right there.
And
But
he
that
had
yeah,
tells
Marcus
how
used
many
to
people
taking
didn't
it
pay
from all
attention.
his songs.
yeah. I didn't like that part of the story. I didn't know it back then when it was
And I'm
out,
like,
but
hold on, you got off on a technicality, on some
yeah,
charges to do with a minor, and
yeah.
then you
What
gonna
was
call
the
yourself the
technicality?
Pied Piper of R&B.
Yeah, what was it? What was the technicality?
The
You know
girl
anything?
family didn't show up to the trial.
Show up?
They didn't have anybody. Yeah, they left the country.
That takes a
This
lot of
is
money to
called
do
the
that.
Mann Act, baby. MANN. Look, when you set up a criminal enterprise to do illegal shit, no
Yeah,
matter what it is, I saw it. I ain't gonna deny it. I saw it. And it was 3 women on that original video. It was 2 women and 1 child on that original videotape. I ain't gonna sit there and act like I watched the whole thing. I fast forwarded to that motherfucker on half speed. I just wanted to confirm or deny whether it was a child. As soon as I saw her, I said, "That's a child," and stopped that tape. Pop that joint
it's
right out.
gotta. Yeah, it's gotta be more people who's getting ready to get charged. If they're gonna use that, even if
Probably.
even if it's later. Yeah, I'm just having a hard time with this. They can take something that's already made for something else and fit it to
Is he
nail
done
you.
yet?
Like they know it was gonna stick no matter what. The feds. God
Buddha,
damn.
is T-Bag done yet?
I don't know. I don't know. I ain't playing this video no more. I know that. So most definitely know
No,
that.
he ain't done yet, and he still ain't cracked 1,000. He don't realize he running off his own people with this shit.
Yeah, man. I think he's chasing something, but everybody's chasing
Whatever
something.
he chasing, he finna fall flat on his face.
Everybody's chasing something on here now.
Flat on his face.
Once you get the algorithm, algorithm got some weird shit. It start changing a lot of people sometimes. Man. Once you start getting in that algorithm, start getting changed, man. People be good, and then they get in the algorithm, and all it be changing. Son. We watch it all the time. We watch Nature
Yeah,
Boy Matthew.
yeah.
He was chilling, you know what I'm saying? Talking
Yeah,
cool.
even after all this time, I'm still getting unrelated shit. Like I have no use for this
I'm
video.
telling you,
I
that's
don't
how
even know.
come even Nature Boy, he is the beginning of all of that shit. We are watching a literal Dr. fucking
Yeah, I
York
keep
in
hearing
this man.
about it.
He
It's a
is
dumpster
actually that
fire.
right now. He's actually putting together that shit and how you got them girls and all type of shit. Yo, bro, he is on that
And you
type of
keep
level,
telling me
son.
about
Yeah,
him.
People are looking at Nature Boy like he's a joke and they laughing at him, son. He is one of those people. If they sit back and let this man grow, he will be like a fucking Jim Jones too. Jim Jones was a faith healer and a religious leader. That's what these people are coming as, man. What is the difference, bro? Women and people are still going to go flock over there to wherever they at, Puerto Rico, whatever place they at, Mexico before, wherever they at. And at the end of the day, son, it's a bunch of shit going on. It's a bunch of herpes simplex and all type of shit allegedly going on around places. There's a lot of shit going on. You hear what I'm saying? Because that's some of the shit that caught R. Kelly up is that he has the herpes simplex.
And he
Okay,
was giving it out to
so it's
people.
not just like semen and all this shit. People and victims have herpes based on this guy right here. Point blank. Confirmed he has herpes. You see what I'm saying? This is some sick shit going on, bro.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
So, Nature Boy hit you in the DM on Facebook, Angelica.
Say what?
Yeah, Nature Boy hit a pansy.
Oh, look, after that convoluted
I heard he was
conversation I
involved
had
in
with him,
some
I declined the
sexual
interview.
activities.
Nigga Nature Boy weird, bro.
He didn't get far enough to try me. Oh, his nasty ass.
It's just that people just don't take him serious. But at the end of the day, some people do. We still got some people over there that take him serious. People that chase fame. People that, you know what I'm saying? Back in the times, the people that got down with
The
Jim
bar is
Jones,
lower. The
they
bar.
probably wanted some fame too, but they was doing some shit different. This world right now in the social media world, damn, son, fame is like right around the corner all the time. It's the table. Like, yo, you gotta
Yeah,
be
look
careful.
how high the bar was back in the '90s though. But the
Yeah,
bar is
that's what
not
I'm
that high
saying.
now. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Now that bar is like it's low, it's social
Now you
media,
can
it's
do
everywhere,
anything.
it's access. It's mad different right now. You feel me? It's mad different. It's weird right now, son. That's how come at the end of the day, we can't wait till this shit goes to courts. We can't wait till these systems.
Right?
You gotta
You
speak
know what I
up
mean? Y'all hear me, right?
ASAP. Since you
Y'all hear me,
read
right?
about
Yeah, you good.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Just like I was in the streets and I used to be on the block trapping and all this shit. Like, you know what I mean? How we outside, no matter what we outside doing. We come outside, we meet each other every day and see each other every day. That's what I mean. But I was just going outside trapping and doing shit that I was doing. But just like that, we sitting down, we doing whatever we doing. Not good shit or destructive shit like how I was hustling and doing the shit I was doing. We still need to be coming together and say, yo, hey, did you check the offenders list today? Did anybody new come into our community? We need to be up on top of these type of things. Okay, well, let's go give him a warm welcome, him or her a warm damn welcome to know that we understand that you're here. We know what's going on and shit like that, man. We can't be just unaware of everything. When we have such access now, back in them times, people didn't know if they had offenders in their area. Right now, you could press a push of a button and see dots pop up all
Yep.
fucking around you, bro, which is scary. It's scary. A friend that I know, a girl, listen, this is a crazy story, right? I know a girl that I was dealing with, right? I was dealing with this girl, right? And I was dealing with her, and she was talking to me one time about a guy. You know what I'm saying? She was like, yo, this nigga, I was dealing with this guy one time, but couldn't find out like he was weird, like he was a creep and shit like that. Like he got arrested. Like, look, and she the one who pulled out the offenders list. Like I never really looked at it, I seen it like that at that time when she showed it to me. And she showed me and I seen all the dots on the shit. I was like, what the fuck? And she showed it to me and she was like, yo, look, this is the guy named Boom. This is him. And she showed him to me, yo. When she showed me him, son, the guy was somebody I knew since I was 9 years old. I knew that kid when I was 9. This kid used to hang with us. This guy used to hang with me and my friend Tony and him. He's Spanish. They Spanish. Him, my man Tony, and all of them, they Spanish. You know what I'm saying? My man Tony, them, they Colombian. You feel me? And he used to hang with them. So I met him through Tony and them, but we was all young, like 9 years old and shit when I met him. You know what I'm saying? We used to all hang out together when we was young. I'm like, yo, what? I'm like, yo, I know this guy from Brooklyn. What are you talking about? I know him from since I was 9 years old, son. And that was crazy. And when I read it, she's like, read what it's about. See what he got arrested for. And when I read it, he had got arrested for touching like a 2 or 3 year old baby girl, yo, a baby, yo, like a 2 or 3 year old, bro. And that shit was crazy, yo. A girl that I was seeing, son, in a whole nother part of somewhere, showed me somebody like, yo, this guy right here, I'm telling you, look, I can show you he's on the offenders list. Watch. What are you talking about? This guy's on the offenders. Let me show you. Shows me the guy, and then I know the guy too. I was like, I can't believe that. Because we called him by nicknames. So when she was saying that whatever name, I ain't really, just think of that like that. Because we always called him a nickname. I was like, yo, I said the nickname to her. I was like, yo, that is da-da-da-da. She was like, yup. He got locked up for touching a young kid, yo. So we got to be really careful, man. Sometimes being careful who we let children around and stuff like that. And that's some things that one of
Oh
the
yeah, the cover up is looks like the cover up is always the key factor. No matter if it's celebrity, family, they, it has to be. You can't do it by yourself, basically, for so long, unless it's just you and the victim. That's different. But if you're traveling and stuff like that, you gotta have proof, and they're if not even more liable because they're allowing that, they're allowing the next one. There's just so much dirt. I don't know how they sleep. That's probably why they stay drugged up all the time.
Yep, yep. Crazy, man.
Yeah, so I'm looking for the precedent for taking a I guess a code in a jurisdiction and modifying it to nail a defendant. What is that called in legal terms?
What?
What just happened to R. Kelly? They changed they modified the racketeering
Man,
aspect of it to fit his case specifically, lined up personally custom just for him to nail him no matter what. Like he had zero chance of getting out of there
I don't know, man.
with nothing less than
John
life.
Gotti rule.
Is there a legal term for that? What is that? I didn't even know that was even possible.
Yes,
I mean, there's no defense.
when you charge with certain statutes, these statutes and crimes that you're being charged with is
Yeah,
beyond regular
statute.
statutes and crimes is looking like, man. You got people hostage, you got mad shit going on, you charged
Yeah.
with sex trafficking. This is where all of that shit comes in, son. Because it's not like you was just a pedophile and they locked you with some pedophilia.
Right. Some
Because
simple
I'm
one
saying
local shit. Yeah.
even Dr. York had them sex trafficking and racketeering and all that charges too, remember? They
I,
make it a
I
federal
don't I
case.
don't, I don't,
They
I
make
don't
it
think back
federal.
then. Yeah, back
Because
then
the other
I
things
don't
make it
I don't
state.
remember I don't remember looking dead at the actual. You know what I'm
How they
saying?
make it
Yeah.
okay.
But
You know,
in this one, obviously, it's more available, and I looked at it, but I wasn't quite sure of what his status was at the time that it was out. But if that's the case, then it's got to be. I mean, there's got to be a some sort of common financial. I mean, you got to have a bank to do it, basically, to keep it going.
that's what it's about. They're making the case stick, man. You know what I mean? Get a case instead of it being just a state case. They really
Yeah,
trying to max you out, bro. And you know the feds got the capabilities to do those types of stuff. So you know what I mean? They really want to put you away. You know what I mean? You build the federal case. You know what I mean? And let the feds get at you. You know what I'm saying? So once you're doing certain things, it already stepped it up to another level beyond state. You know what I mean? So I don't know if the other couple of states that he got, which is what Chicago and Minnesota.
yeah,
Um,
Illinois. That's where I'm at. Yeah,
yeah, so I don't know if those are, but most likely those will be federal cases as well. I don't know though, because it could be state cases. So that's I know that just to make this thing stick. That's what they do a lot of times. They bring in the racketeering, the RICO charges. We see
yeah.
this happen all the time on low levels with low level drug dealers looking
Yeah, yeah. Love some regional shit.
Bobby
Yeah,
Shmurda and them type of people, like you
yeah,
see Treyway. So we see RICO statutes and different things being implemented or
yeah,
implemented in certain cases as well, just to make them stick. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It was made for mafiosis and then somehow turned towards the regular nickel and dime peddlers and people like that in the 80s. So
That's
the
like
same thing
that's like an on-demand prosecution.
yeah,
Like on demand. Like, okay, we
yeah.
need it on this motherfucker right here. We
That's
gonna
what's
nail
up.
it. Bow.
They made it for the mafiosis and then used it in the 80s to put away the drug lords in the 80s.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how they spun that thing right there. Because it was really meant for bigger people than those people. You know what I mean? The mafiosis was bigger than the drug dealers, right?
Yeah.
You would think, right? So it was
Gotti.
really meant for
Yeah,
them.
motherfuckers like Gotti and them, yeah.
It ain't bigger than drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? So it's real. It's big. From here to back to the old country. You know what I'm saying? Back from here to Sicily and all type of country shit. That shit is big. So yeah. So it was really meant for something bigger, international. You know what I'm saying? And they use those same things to weaponize them against the inner cities. They use the same statutes in the inner cities throughout the 80s and things like that to get a lot of drug dealers off the streets and put them away. You know what I'm saying? Shit is crazy.
Crazy.
So, you know what I mean? He did a lot of wild shit. You know what I'm saying? He did a lot of he most definitely did a lot of wild shit. It's a lot of feedback coming out of Rem. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? He did. Yeah, man. All I know, Kelly shedding a tear in there, bro. And I know Polite is scared right now too after they seen what they just did to him. You know, he's no one. So he know what they gonna do with him. Plus, no empathy. No empathy, the lack of empathy will be brought up in the court. Now, since he showed no empathy from the beginning, now you know, like when you don't tell the truth by the beginning, then it's hard to tell the truth, and then now you just be going along with the lie when you really wanted to tell the truth at that moment, but the window passed.
That's the no
Yeah,
flipping rule. No flipping.
yeah, man. So the window already passed for you to just come out and just have some
Yeah.
expression of empathy. Now, if he come across with the empathy now, he know he can't do it now because
No.
it's not, and he don't feel it. So I think that the first Instagram video was the best time for him to do that. I think that that would have changed a lot of people's, not changed a lot of people's minds, but it would have kept a lot of people's triggers off of him. Like, yo, as much, even though they've been on him, but it'd been like, yo, all right, you know what I'm saying? Let's see what's going on. All right, he did say, you know what I mean? He expresses something, look like he understanding some wrong he did or something. You know what I mean? We could probably start seeing some sort of humility, some sort of cool, some sort of caring or something. But you can't even say that about it. You can't even make a case. You know what I mean? Even if you're a friend or loved one of Polite right now, you can't really make a good case for him. You know what I mean? And he's not making a good case for himself.
No.
So, you know, it's really, really crazy. CCC is about to go up too, right, C?
Yeah, he ain't making no kind of case for himself right now. He telling on himself, on his own self,
That's
and
what I,
all his actions and all his nasty little ways.
that's what I think. That's what I think. Damn, Rem on me? My bad, Rem. Yeah, the wild feedback was coming out
Yeah,
this shit, Rem.
man.
You heard it, right?
That's cool. Oh,
The
my
feedback
bad.
was, that's good, though.
Yeah,
Word, though.
you good now, yeah.
Yeah, right? You heard it before, right? He sounds good now.
Yeah. But yeah, Angelica, you need in order to keep an operation like that going, even if it's not a retail bank, I've seen motherfuckers not on this level, but motherfuckers all they do is like the digital apps, Cash App, Bitcoin, fucking all these new fucking currency exchange programs. So if you use money orders and shit that you have to go in person, somebody got to use their ID.
Where did this happen? In New York? Where did he get
Uh,
sent? Where did this case happen at? In New York?
yeah, this was Brooklyn.
This shit was in Brooklyn, son?
That's what I'm
This is like,
saying.
bro, I was
That's
supposed to be down there, bro. Where the fuck was I at? Like, what the fuck? I'm over here.
yeah, like at the courtroom door. You supposed to be like,
I'm
I
supposed
know
to
it's
catch
no cameras.
court,
Yeah,
nigga.
I know it's no cameras, but I got this new
Nah, I'm
device.
supposed to catch his ass coming out that building. But he
Nah,
ain't come out the building, right? They kept him, right? Did they keep
yeah, they had him way
held
back.
him, right?
Nobody could see him. Yeah, get to him. Yeah,
They held him, right? That's where they supposed to hold you, right?
yeah, they got him.
Yeah.
But his lawyer came out though. He was
Yeah, that's
running.
what I'm saying. The lawyers came out because I did see the little entourage that was in there for him. I think his lawyer and a couple of people had came out
Yeah,
afterwards. Yeah.
yeah. I didn't know it was this big though. It was pretty big. It stopped all the news press as
Aaliyah,
soon as the verdict
son,
came out.
that is in the spirit of Aaliyah, bro. Son,
So,
Aaliyah was a real one, son. Aaliyah
yeah,
was a real one, son. But at
yeah,
the end of the day, baby girl was traumatized too, son.
yeah,
That's what I
Baby
said in the
girl
beginning
was
of my live earlier.
traumatized
I'm glad
too,
she
son.
finally
Look how he had a son. Age ain't nothing but a number.
deserved.
Look at the songs, bro. Look at the songs, bro. This nigga was grooming people, bro. Grooming the girl, son.
yeah,
Messing up the girl, son. Messing up the girl, son. And look at her life was cut off so short, son. Imagine a little bit of happiness she got a chance to get, son. Because fame and notoriety don't bring you happiness, you know. All the money, all the world, all that shit don't bring you
She was
happiness,
happy
you know.
before she died with Dame Dash.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's when you become to get back to a happiness. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that's traumas. When you're dealing with abuse and then you side in with the person, like you got Stockholm syndrome, kind of, you know what I mean? Because you're young. You're young. You're dealing with this person. You think that it's okay. They came on a show dressed like each other, dressed like twins, and the host asked them and said, "Joe, like," they said, "No, we just close like that. We're just good friends like that." You see what I'm saying, man? You see the
yeah,
grooming, the psyche of some shit, bro. That type of shit, son. That woman, Aaliyah, still needed time to get through that, son. She never got through that shit yet, man. You need time to develop to go through that type of stuff, man. It sometimes takes years for a person to get through stuff, son. Because you see how much shit that you aided and how you was just so naive in certain senses. And now you start to further beat yourself up. After you think you got over it, you start to beat yourself up about how you let yourself or you was naive to something. Come on, man. That shit is real.
yeah.
That shit is real. You know what I mean? And sometimes that shit is lifelong lasting effects on from traumas, abuse, sexual assault. She was sexually assaulted. Regardless of what we think or not, that girl was sexually assaulted. Aaliyah was sexually assaulted too. Period. Period. How many times? The man married her, bro. The man married her, bro. For that alone, son, he's supposed to get into jail, son. Get out of here. We don't even see white people doing that shit.
You know what I'm saying?
He
Shit.
We
got
didn't even
her a
see a
fake
white person. So we can say all the
ID.
shit about the white man. They
Swear
Man,
to
this
rock
shit.
shit.
We didn't even see a white man publicly try to marry a 15-year-old like that.
I just knew that was a.
See nobody. We see
Elvis.
none of them.
I just knew that was a rumor. I was like,
Elvis is a
man,
wild
y'all going
Elvis
too
married
far with these
his
rumors.
15-year-old cousin.
Evans is a wild boy. But I'm talking about out of all these people, bro, how many stars, how many celebrities, how many people, bro, black, Indian, white, whatever, all colors, bro, marrying a 15-year-old kid, son, after trying to deal with the moms and grooming her and get the daughter and play it off and marry and try to marry the daughter, son, and trying to groom the daughter. What kind of shit is that?
But
And
I,
got the daughter singing "Age ain't nothing but a number," like you making a joke and
Now that
mocking
married
this
his
shit.
stepdaughter.
Yeah, but like I'm trying to show you though,
He
how
named
many
out
cases
age
that
ain't
do
nothing but a number.
public,
nah,
you know,
yeah,
publicly
we,
did this shit, bro. He publicly did that. He did that, bro. Imagine his mindset, son.
Yeah,
It's not like he did this
Elvis
on a low.
publicly
He
married
was on
his
a low.
cousin.
Yeah, Elvis is a wild boy, son.
Elvis did it
I keep
publicly.
telling you.
The dude, the billionaire that I'm talking about, he publicly married his stepdaughter.
See, when you got money
This is
like certain
recent.
things, that's what makes you do shit like that, son. That's what I'm saying. Though. Look who's doing it. Billionaire nigga. That's who do the weirdo shit. The billionaire. We know that. But look at R. Kelly now. Where do you come in doing this now? You not the sick, the billionaire and all that. You not the who you? Why
yeah,
you?
he wasn't no damn topping no
I've been getting
goddamn
that nigga
shit.
for
That
70
that '90s
years.
shit was over.
That's
When
what I'm
back
saying.
when I saw him, yeah, when he was just coming out,
He
93,
was in that shit.
95, 97. That was his up as far as he can go. As soon as all that little stuff came down, he never came back up to that level in the music.
He was on that shit from the beginning of his career, man. Okay? He was on that shit, man. He was on that sick shit, man. That nigga was on
He
that
was
sex tape,
telling
nigga,
us.
with that kid, nigga. He was on that sex tape, nigga. I seen that shit years ago, nigga. He was on that shit, nigga. You're not gonna tell me he was not on that. He was on that. With Sparkle Niece, he was on that.
I saw it with my own two eyeballs. And there was three women. There was two women on that tape and Sparkle
You see
Niece.
the one with the studio one where he was on the chair and all that shit with the studio
Yeah,
chair?
and the girl in the yellow bikini.
Yo, bro, stop. The
I
nigga
seen the
pee.
one
Yo,
where
go
he
ahead
was
and pee.
adjusting
Yo,
the
go ahead and
camera and
pee.
all that
Go
other
pee.
shit.
Yo, bro, nigga telling the girl pee right there, go ahead pee, whine, she
That's what I'm
whining and
saying. I
peeing.
ain't even never heard of no damn shit like
Yo,
that
he got
before.
the girl whining and peeing, bro. You dead ass, bro? Whining, standing
And
up,
sitting
peeing,
up there
bro.
got her calling him daddy,
So
nasty fucker.
Some
if he
nasty,
had
I'll
a
never forget that shit.
that's some
And I didn't
nasty
even
shit,
watch
bro.
all of it.
And that's
I watched
Sparkle
enough to
Niece, bro.
confirm that girl was
See that
was
shit.
underage.
Sparkle. Sparkle was an artist of his and all that, working with him and all that. He know people look up to him, love him, and like him because he's R. Kelly. Look, groomed her ass on the low, probably was slapping that, beating her, having sex with her. That's what I mean by beating it. Having sex with her. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, he's grooming you. And then look, grab the niece. Bang. There we go. And the niece was 14, right? Wasn't that niece like 14 at the time?
She was 13, 14, yeah.
She was
And
13,
you could
14
clearly
at the
tell
time.
that she wasn't no grown ass
Clearly was
woman.
a kid. Clearly was a kid, son. Clearly was a kid, bro. Clearly. That's years ago. Back in the days when shit was videos was
That's some
out
sick
and you
shit.
seen shit.
VHS.
That's when you could see shit. Right now you couldn't even see no shit like that probably. But right now I'm telling you, he been doing that shit. That was him on that fucking tape, yo. How the fuck did he survive all of that shit, son?
That's what I'm saying. So shit in the '90s, I mean, shit, he was really banging in the studio. He had fell off. So I mean, that album before that tape came out, that shit kind of flopped. Wasn't nobody and what I mean, I'm just saying in Chicago,
King, son.
I'm there.
He was the
They
king, son.
wasn't bumping and shit like that.
He was the king, son. Regardless of the fact he was the king.
They
He was
wasn't
the king,
bumping
son.
this shit.
Play
His
this
shit
up.
fell off.
He was the
Fell
king,
off.
son. He was a king, son. When it comes to that, son, I'm talking
I'm
about
saying
people
he
that
fell
shape
off.
music, son. You
In the
can't fall off.
'90s, yeah,
Can't
'90s.
even fall off, son.
I'll give you that. I'll give
He
you
never
that in
fell
the
off
'90s.
until recently. He
Well,
fell
he
off.
dropped Chocolate Factory. Chocolate Factory.
He never
was
fell
that
off, son. He been banging forever, son. He's been banging ever since he stole
And he
Aaron
was
Hall's.
writing for other people. Kelly
What are you talking
Price,
about,
Michael
guy?
Jackson.
Ever since he stole Aaron
You
Hall's
look where
style
I'm
and
talking
ran
about
to
R.
the
Kelly. He was
touchdown,
writing for Michael Jackson.
he been banging ever since, bro. But it's not just about him banging. It's about a man like him is like certain people in certain time periods of music shape the face of music. LaFace, the 80s. We got Missy Elliott did certain things in them times, right? She wrote Whitney album. Okay. The Whitney album was the Whitney album with my shit on there. Oh, yes, yes, say yes, and all that shit on there. Missy wrote that. Okay, R. Kelly wrote all them songs. He wrote Michael Jackson, You Are Not Alone. He wrote mad people's music.
Yeah.
Like these people didn't only shape their
No,
own
I
sound.
give you that. No, I
They
give you
shaped the
that.
sound of a generation of sound. That's like Dr. Dre and how he shaped the sound of music, son.
Yeah.
Not just him himself, but just how the sound shaped. So R. Kelly was a big part of these things, man. He wrote music for everyone. So at the end of the day, this nigga was wilding. And you got to marry Aaliyah, bro? You got every woman in this world, bro?
Such an
That you could go
oxymoron.
attend?
How the hell he writing music for everybody and he can't write?
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. And he ain't right, you mean. And his ass ain't right. He ain't right. He ain't right. Even if y'all don't agree with this, you have to say you agree that his ass should have been in there from since Aaliyah. Bless the spirit of Aaliyah. Feel me? You can't get away
I
with all
could
the
not
Problem.
believe it. I mean, I was like, damn,
he
man,
abused her.
you gotta show me a copy of the damn, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, sex tape? The
I
sex tape,
mean,
bro?
yeah, I seen it now, but I'm saying back when it first came out.
Nah, oh yeah. You said you seen it now?
Yeah, I seen it now, but when
Oh,
it first came out,
it was like three
I
of
was
them.
like, hell, motherfucker, no.
Bro, it was
How
like
would a
three of them.
parents even allow it?
It was like three of them, bro. It was multiple ones, bro. Back in the days, it was multiple
I
ones
only
out. It
seen
was
the
just
one where
one.
he was like
Multiple
sitting in
ones.
the chair, adjusting the camera.
He had that one too. There was a couple of them out circulating. But cause remember it's like a DVD. It was some footage on this shit. It had the one. He had the corn rolls in it. Yeah, you already know. Yes, he was in the fucking look like a jacuzzi or some shit else, whatever fuck type of shit, man. Yes, weirdo shit though, man. When you get power and certain things like that, people become more weird. People become mega weird. That's how come you gotta limit these people before they become. You gotta stop, son. You be thinking like
Weirdos,
you can
junkies,
stop.
and the criminally insane.
And maybe that's why he got away with it for so long, because he was into shit that the higher ups is into.
You know what I mean? To a sense, if that was really the case, that, you know, we probably still be getting away with it. So you can't really say that, man. You know what I mean? What I think is it's just so much damning
No,
evidence.
you
It's
can't
just
say
so
that
much
because
testimony against you, bro. It's just, look, man, even if you were innocent, bro, it's just so much fucking damning testimony from how many people, how much footage, all type of shit about
yeah,
you,
so
bro.
he
It's
was
just,
a loose.
my hands is tied. It's just the hands are tied, bro. It's like, even if you were innocent, bro, like, what are we to do with you, bro? Come
Okay,
on.
Chuck finna come on, so I guess he gonna be over here and
Yeah. We gonna pull up.
May's gonna be over there. Or y'all
Nah,
coming
I'm
over?
gonna try to make. I'm pulling over there. So if
Okay.
they want to pull up, we
No,
gonna pull up over there. So I'm gonna end this and pull up over there. Everybody,
All
if
right.
you with us, you already know. Join us live on CCCT on Trip C's Treehouse right now on Trip C's Treehouse. Devastating. For you is rocking with us right now. Brenda's baby, Remiel, my aunt. Make sure you checking the bros out. Make sure y'all heading over right now to CCC TV because that's where we're about to be right now. You already know. You want to tell the people something before we switch on over and head over to the CCC Devastating?
No, okay, I'm gone.
All right, cool. We're gonna head over there. We're going to CCC Angelica Diallo. Shout out to Angie Diallo. Make sure you go and subscribe to this channel right here that I'm bringing up. That name right there, Angelica Diallo. And make sure you're checking out herprana.com. I am going to bring up a quick graphic so you can see what I'm talking about. Make sure you're checking out herprana.com. We got to salute, I mean, our Black entrepreneurs. Most definitely got to salute our young Black entrepreneurs out here that's doing these types of things and building brands and creative stuff like this that they can build with their kids and show their kids how to go about creating a brand handmade. You know what I mean? She got recipe things like that from the ancients, from her elders, from her family. There's long lines of different things. You know what I mean? You'll have to get with Angelica Diallo and let her give you her own personal story. But what I do know is that we have to support real good things like this. She creates her own soaps. You know what I mean? Every bar, hand mixed, hand poured, and hand cut. You already seen it. Soap Lament started as an idea to get back to tradition, right? To get back to the tradition of homegrown and home crafted, cruelty free, skin fit skincare products, right? But now look at this now. See, you need your skin glowing like these queens right here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Look at the neck region glowing. Look at it glowing. Look at it glowing on the neck. She's glowing. These queens are glowing. Okay? They washing their body in this, the double butter. You got to double butter your skin. I know you baking, you want butter the pan and all that. I get it. I was selling drugs, so I was on the block selling double butter. But I changed my life. Okay? Now, this is the only double butter that I may sell in the near future. But check it out, though. This is what it's about, though. Real good products, you know what I'm saying? Really beautiful, too, right? Like, I like the purple one, right? I like the lavender cake. Sounds nice. It sounds like you can eat it, right? I can smell it from here. Make sure you're checking out Her Prana. All right? Herprana.com. If you want your skin glowing like this, gentlemen, okay? If you leave your lady gentle, you know you don't want to get no paper cut on your lip or no ting like that. You got to go to herprana.com, okay? That's $7 a bar. Stop being cheap. A lot of y'all are smoking gumbo. Y'all smoking the gumbo pack and the Zaza. Stop playing. Okay? You don't have to buy that dime bag of weed. Don't play with me. Go and wash your crotches with some lemon sugar. You feel me? Get the lemon sugar and now your crotchums, your zims, your zims. All right. Go to herprana.com and check it out, man. Small batch soap, half crafted by family. You already know the vibes, man. We headed over to Triple C. Oh shit, they can't see it the whole time. My bad. Fuck. I damn, but I like it though. They already know. I say it on all streams, so they have to know that though. At least you heard what I was saying to you. Now I can show you exactly what I said. Every bar, hand mixed, hand poured. All right, you see it, and hand cut. This is the double butter that I was talking about right here. You see it? Double butter. Because I was in the streets moving double butter. Not no more. And this is the lemon sugar one in the middle that I was saying, if you have to wash off your crotches, you have to wash your crotches in lemon sugar. You see me? That is for my Jamaican family members. Thank you. $7 a bar. Don't be cheap to yourself. Weed costs $10. This costs $7. Stop being cheap to yourself because you need your skin glowing like these queens right here. Look at the neck region. I said, look at the queens. I think they put some on their lips. Oh, shit. Ain't this something? I think she put some lemon butter on. Did they put the lemon butter on? I think they got a lemon butter one. The lemon butter on the lips. I said, look at the queens glowing. Okay. Herprana.com. Okay. If you don't want the paper cuts on your lips, okay, you have to go to herprana.com. If you're smoking the gumbo and the zaza and the grabber and the fronto and the grabber pia, if you're smoking the fronto, $7 a bar. Okay. You already know the vibe. Salute to everybody. Make sure that y'all go into Triple C TV, CCC TV. Right now, we about to be live. Chuck Morgan, good conversation. Hopefully, my brother DJ Mays pull up, and we just have a great dialogue, and this is what it's all about. So I'm gonna leave y'all with these queens. You know, shout out to Daughter of the Sea. You got to email me, Queen, and let me know when you're gonna be ready for whatever. But you know, you can always just hit me up. You know what I'm saying? I'm in your town. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta treat people like strangers and all that. Strangers with a K and all that. You know what I'm saying? You know how that go. So shout out to Daughter of the Sea. Make sure you're going to subscribe to that queen. She vibrates on a very, very high consciousness. I respect her a lot. Respect all the queens in the community. DOTS. You see it right there. Daughters of the Sea. Daughter of the Sea. Make sure you go and subscribe to that channel. Y'all come on. Pull up. Follow me over to CCC TV, Triple C TV right now. I'm going to be over there right now live. You already know. I'm going to leave y'all with that. Daughter of the Sea. Make sure y'all go and subscribe to the queen.